And welcome everyone to the WAX OIG Roundtable number 16. Today is February 27th, and we are going through a few updates today. First and foremost, the guidelines 5.6 changes that we are proposing to release this week with two changes. We are proposing, we want to add a requirement to flag partial nodes in the bp.json. That's the one. And the other one is we want to bump the multiplier for the ecosystem development score from 9 to 10. Those are two changes that we are proposing. We will get into some feedback for that at the end of the call. So take your notes and let's talk about it and share your objections and feedback with those two changes. All right, looking at the network health, we've seen that unfortunately a few rounds have been missed by WAX USA in the past days due to some weird issues, also Sentinel agents missing one round on the mainnet. And lately we've had an issue reported by our empty blocks reporter, Matthew Darwin, who is kindly pinging guilds whenever they are producing low transactions or empty blocks. This issue affected Bounty Blocks and EOS Authority. Talking to Dimitri from Bounty Block, it seems that the issue was peer related. So they are sitting in between WAX USA and EOS Rio. And that is a round trip from USA to Europe back to Brazil. And as he described, he was peering with EOS Duck, which fell out of top 21, which caused some issues. And he optimized his peers, so the issue should be resolved by now. Other than that, nothing really noticeable on the network. One double producing instance from Liquid Studios this week, yesterday on Sunday. It doesn't show the data, but there was one round of double producing on Liquid Studios, which was visible here. Going into the next update, CC Stan from from WAX Amsterdam is publishing WAX 501 release. At the moment, it is not on the official WAXDAO repository yet. I'm not sure if the work is done fully, but the update or the new release seems prepared. When WAX 502, that's a good one. We don't have Stan on our call, but we can ping him on the Telegram channels and ask for that. Surely this will be the next thing to do. Is anyone here running the 501 release already?
Yeah, running it on testnet.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, please be so kind and share some insights once you have them, once you have been running the release for a few weeks, maybe on the next roundtable, if you can report anything, and share your findings. That would be great. So, talking about some of the WAX releases, one repo I want to outline is the WAX Node Repo on the WAX.io repository, which is essentially a guide to running your nodes on WAX. Please give it a read, leave some feedback in the issue on the issues, create issues if you find some. I think this will make it much more easier for developers to run a WAX node and a ship node too. Also, let me mention that some developers in the community have managed to run a WAX ship node on a 32 gigabyte machine with a new private map private mode. which is awesome, and will bring down the requirements on Wax nodes. The feature has been newly introduced. Let's observe it and funnel the feedback back to the developers. If you have anything to share about that, please feel free to do it after we walk through the latest updates. Next on the list, outlining some of the work our guilds are doing. We have Dapplica with a nice series of articles on how to develop games on Wax. This is an NFT and token-based farming game with so far with 6 articles so far, 5 articles so far, guiding you through how to create your collections and manage your mutable attributes on collections. And then on the next article, this is about the mutable attributes on the NFTs, how you can manipulate them. And then on the next article, also contract development, staking of NFTs, issuing of distribution and issuing of tokens for staked NFTs. Nice series of articles. It will hold a total of 20 articles, if I'm not mistaken. So let's follow that one. It was shared on the Telegram, on the WAXIO Telegram in the developer section. Adding to that, we have Mike D from WAXDAO finding out how game development with Unity, with the Unity SDK can work. So he's also publishing a lot of articles and guides on how to develop a game, an actual game on based on Unity, using and utilizing Wax NFTs and other assets, I believe. I don't even know how exactly this game is called, but once you see the image, you will all recognize it. It's essentially a tennis game where your score adds up when the ball touches the blue bars. Really nice article. You should have a look at it. It's also shared on the developer section of the official WAXIO Telegram. This is part 7 so far. I guess he will continue to write articles and transform that game into a AAA game, in his own terms, a $10 million game. But not only that, we also have a contribution from the Wax team and developers themselves. A nice tutorial series that has been added to the Wax developer docs about building a tic-tac-toe game on Wax. This guide has 2 parts. The one is the game client, which is a PvP tic-tac-toe game utilizing the blockchain to store the results and the actions. So part 1 is about the game client and how to develop the game client in React.js. And part 2 is the smart contract part of the game and how it was developed. The official repository is always linked at the top, so you can find the whole code for the game on GitHub. All right. Next on the list, we had 2 amazing contributions to the developer docs from eosphere, Ross. One is on the Hyperion Full History Indexer scaling. And the other one is how to enable Hyperion streaming with a load balancer. We briefly talked about it last week. It's also up on the Medium, on the eosphere Medium. We added it to the Wax developer documentation. Give it a read. Then noticeable blog posts and Twitter posts we had during the past week. Let's start with that one. There was a shout out from WAXDAO for Taco, which has been an amazing guild contribution to the ecosystem. They already have a few products developed, namely Taco Wax as a NFT, FT, like a token marketplace, a swap. Also some games, Taco Cryptia and Taco Comms, and what they're building next is Monster Rooms. It's a Web3 mobile game built by Taco. It's a roguelike game incorporating NFTs and tokens. There's an official website on it. Make sure to give it a visit and a like, of course. Another update I just found on Twitter. Alcor is putting up a new Wax USDT farm with some sweet rewards. So in case you are sitting on a few token and you want to farm some liquidity, head over to Alcor and have a look at what they've just been building. Also, you can list your tokens now, your token now for free on Alcor since the token listing fee has been removed. Another one, and I think this was highlighted by the LedgerWise team, is a product across that can help all the Antelope chains. The project's name is Staircase, and what you can essentially do is connect with experts in the Antelope space, developers and mentors and very experienced people that are willing to get on a call with you and educate you on different parts of the ecosystem, not only development, but also marketing strategies, for example, and very technical stuff, but also very marketing related stuff like product management, product design, or product strategies. If you wish to get connected with more developers in your community, you can create your profile on Staircase, highlight your past journey on Antelope chains and your experience, and be available for short talks with communities and developers, which should help onboard those people and ease their path to building on Wax. Essentially, that's it from the official agenda. We are right now conducting technical evaluations, which will be published until tomorrow, 18 UTC. That's where the new voting will happen the latest. And of course, we have the report submission cutoff, which is in 2 days, end of the day. So 2 days or 1 day? 2 days, 29th, end of the day, OIG report submission. Please make sure to write your report. We already received 3 reports. Looking forward to read all the amazing updates, and let me know if you want me to feature any of your current development, latest releases, and I can highlight them on the roundtables. So since we are increasing the multiplier for the ecosystem development score multiplier, I prepared just a short example of what is a product and what is an ecosystem contribution so that we don't confuse those two. A product, and we are talking about examples here, could be like an open source wallet development like Anchor built by Greymass. The description for this is a guild develops a new open source wallet that supports Wax and other related tokens, enhancing user experiences with features like seamless transactions, token staking, and more. Criteria is to be met to be scored as a product are innovation and UX. For example, the wallet introduces innovative features that improve the user experience, or open source contribution. The wallet's code is open source, allowing for community contributions and transparency. And another criteria to name is adoption and reach. The wallet gains popularity among users, demonstrated by download metrics and active users contributing to the broader adoption of WAX. This is an example for a product contribution. Talking about ecosystem contributions and how they could look like. A common example we have reviewed in the past years is, for example, a collaborative dApp launch support with a description: a guild partners with developers to launch a new decentralized application on WAX, providing marketing support, technical assistance, and funding acquisition. The criteria to be met are supporting the product development, so assisting in the development and launching of a new dApp, contributing to the ecosystem's diversity and growth. Another criteria is engagement and value. It helps secure funding for the dApp, increasing its chance of success and long-term sustainability. And another criteria to be met is enabling the community users and developers to build on WAX. Right. And that's where we can face into our open agenda. We can pull that one up here, the 2 changes we are proposing. And that's your chance to leave some feedback for it. Or, of course, name any other topic and we can get into it. One question from Anders is, can one product fit into both product and ecosystem? I guess no, not by our current definition. So we would place it where we would see it best fit, based on some of the criteria I just described. It can only be either a product or an ecosystem contribution. Okay, let's go to it. Let's get into it. Artem, VR CryptoLions.io is scored as a product contribution, pretty sure. At the moment. Then Anders is asking, Atomic Assets and Atomic API is a product and ecosystem contribution. Where did you get that from? Let's have a look.
No, not a fact, not like that. It's a assumption, a question. It's not a statement.
Oh, it's an assumption. Okay. So yeah.
Because if you build a product,
that's completely lagging. Sorry.
If you build a product that is enabling the ecosystem to build upon that, isn't that an ecosystem development and a product? If your product is also enabling,
it could be.
Yeah, that's the question I'm asking.
It could be. Yes.
Has your question been answered?
Yeah, because you said no, and now Joseph says yes.
No, sorry if I was unclear.
I like to contradict Janis as much as I can. Now,
yeah.
I mean, there are a few products that, as you mentioned, there are enablers in the ecosystem. There are, a handful of products that are critical to WAX, and in that case, yes. it makes sense and it's possible because otherwise Wax wouldn't be what it is without them.
I guess blocks would be one of those things that is, well, before they did what they did.
I'm not going to comment on this.
But essentially what you're saying is that most things are either, not both.
Exactly. At least in the beginning. So it could be that you build a product and eventually it becomes something that is, it becomes part of the core of Wax is, what Wax is. Then you might get both.
So we have established those guidelines a long time ago, but nevertheless, the description of product development and ecosystem development, which is more thoroughly explained on the guidelines, still works out. So give it a read, please, at some point. And if you happen to have any feedback for that, we can talk about it in more depth.
So a little bit further on this, I think there was discussion internally a long time ago about the case of gray mass Anchor. Anchor is critical, not just for Wax, but for every chain. And I think we discussed to make it ecosystem, but also it's so strategic for Wax that it end up getting strategic points. But it could be perfectly be as part of the ecosystem, right? So instead of getting the points on a strategic, get it onto ecosystem. It could perfectly be.
You are on mute if you're talking.
Yep, excuse me. So do we have any other feedback for the two proposed changes on the 5.6 guidelines? None? Help us, please help us identify the types of nodes which would require a partial flag. One of them is history.
Should peering be part of that or not?
Yeah, I'd say peering. Peering is like the main one. History is usually internal, at least as far as ship history goes.
Yeah, but you could have a
obviously.
part 12-week Hyperion, then it's a partly.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, so Hyperion, ship, and then peering. So you would have to be insane to be resyncing from Genesis, but you have to do it, right? You have to do it to get your own stuff.
Don't worry, they will do it soon. They will force us all to do it again. It happened. Haven't it happened like 3 times so far on Wax, or 2? I don't know, 2 or 3.
You've done it,
where you need to resync because of the changes.
Will that possibly happen with Leap version 6 and the new consensus?
No, it won't. It said no.
Okay.
They already said no in the call. They said it won't have to.
Nice.
All right.
even Hyperion, as it's looking at the moment, Hyperion version 4 also does not appear to need a resync.
Nice.
According to Igor. Yeah. But stranger things happen. You just do it on one node. You do it on one node and then you back it up and copy it everywhere else. Do that one node for a while. Give it like really, really fast disk and just go for it. Disk and network.
All right. Any other topics we want to touch? Anything you want to present? Anything you have built you want us to have a look at? You want me to share on the screen? No TechOps incidents in the past 2 weeks?
Wait, we had a little tricky issue with the Alien Worlds teleport. There was like just three of us had that issue. And essentially the Alien Worlds teleport oracle battled to read from ship, and I had to restart the teleport and make it read like from an earlier block, and then it was fine. So I do have a cluster of ship nodes. So it may have been an issue on one of the actual state histories on one of those ship nodes, but it happened to everybody at the same time, all like together. So I'm not sure, and it hasn't happened again.
I think some of the others had to restart the ship node as well.
I didn't have to restart. Oh, like I said, my ship node is a cluster, so I don't even know which one it was.
Yeah, ours.
But there wasn't anything dodge. Yeah, yeah. And anyhow, those are all light nodes. Those ones are light, so whatever's there is probably not there anymore anyway. But yeah, so we none of us have had that issue again, whatever it was, and it was the first time we had actually seen that issue. So not sure. And yes, there was ECC RAM on our ship nodes. Just putting it up there.
All right.
We have a bash example for how to interact with follows now. So you can
on the
do
docs?
it in bash. Yeah.
Like what can you do on bash? Oh yeah,
Everything.
I forgot about it, but you shared something interesting with me on Telegram, right?
Yeah.
One of the community developers. Was that?
No, this is something else. We just added this because me and Henrik has been joking about wouldn't it be fun to have an example with bash, just to show how easy you can actually do it. It's basically easy. Just calling the Redis CLI, so it's a workaround, but it's very easy to work with. Easy to get data from Wax, so that's good.
And you're planning next to Dockerize that whole setup?
Hopefully we have the problem with creating Dockers is that maintenance of anything is a lot of work. Like creating them once is not a problem, but maintaining them is a lot of work. So my idea is that it would be really cool to have Dockers, one containing simple config for a ship node with the follows reader and Redis and everything that you need. One for just follows and Redis, and one for just follows, so you can connect to another Redis, so you can spin up multiple instances. And this full package would be basically for a new developer to just take this Docker, run it on a VPS, now that they can go down to 32 gigs for a ship node, which is pretty crazy. And to just have this Docker that they can just run and then hit start, and the node starts to sync, and when that's up, Talos works and they can start to read blockchain data. And that could potentially streamline the process from 0 to get started, and then of course to optimize everything you always need to put in time. But that's the idea. I think that would be really cool to help onboard developers and everything, but I don't know. I think it would be cool.
Right. Say I want to start a new ship node. Where would I get the backups from? Or the Elastic snapshots from?
No Elastic. A ship node, you just take one of the snapshots.
Oh, no, sorry. Yeah.
So all you need to do is you need a config, and for this it would be a partial history, so it would not be a full history, because then we need a lot of space. So then you just need have a config where you keep a short duration of blocks of state history and everything, and then you just start it with a snapshot from any of the teams that provide a snapshot, and it's good to go.
Yeah.
Just last week I found out that Pavel from Wecan is hosting like daily snapshots, which is a crazy amount of data.
Daily snapshots of what?
Ship.
Oh, ship snapshot. Oh, yeah. How long is he keeping them?
Not sure. I didn't look back, but there were plenty of them. But yeah, you can get them daily.
He's probably doing ZFS snapshot.
What does it
But
mean?
I mean, well, it means it can be incremental, so it won't necessarily take up all of the space, that whole 8 terabytes, whatever. It's the file system. It's a file system snapshot. It's cool. It works. But I mean, if we had to be really honest, how many people, if you needed an entire ship, you'd probably just grab blocks from somewhere and just sync it up again. In reality,
yeah,
because nobody wants to download 8 terabytes of ship from somebody else, and then you have to also have the corresponding. Yeah, it'll be probably quicker just to spin it up. So, and also, if you were really needing everything from the beginning, you probably would do it all yourself anyway, because that means you're going to have a huge cluster somewhere with Elastic, because you want to do full history or whatever it is. You need to, otherwise most people are quite comfortable just doing the snapshot from start.
But you still need a few weeks to get everything synchronized again.
Of course, you did it. I remember. You did it.
I did it twice, and I'm probably going to do it again soon, because that really helps me to understand what's the situation. So I don't really enjoy it, but I like to do it at least every 6 months or so, to understand the requirements and everything.
I think if you've got a fast machine, just use, if you can, and if you needed the entire state history, just replay blocks. I think it'll be quicker. But just get like something crazy, like something with a real 5 gigahertz processor type thing.
Cool.
NVMe.
So when will you test that, Ross?
No,
next article.
Hey, have you guys seen that Antelope firewall? That
no.
Yeah. Remember Petronius back in the day?
Yes, I recall that.
Yeah. So this is like the next level. It's got
really?
Some intelligence behind it. It was the guys from Boyd that made it.
Oh, really?
It looks really interesting. I need to spin it up, and might be a good article actually.
Yeah, that would be nice.
So it sits in between your proxy, which is doing all your SSL offloading, and your Node.js boxes. And you use it to actually distribute between the Node.js boxes. It can also restrict certain contracts, whatever you specify. It can restrict the number of requests. It can make sure that nodes are up. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, very, very cool. Looks interesting. Animus Labs, yeah. So yeah, and that's generic Antelope, right? So it might be worth having a go. So yeah, it looks like very basic when you look at the README, but if you actually go have a look at the default config.toml, you'll see it's got like all sorts of trickety snap levers that you can pull there. You know, could be nice. It gets rid of some of that configuration inside of your load balancer. So you just use your load balancer mainly for SSL offloading, and then this you'll do the actual load balancing and limiting of requests to your nodes. So haven't had a go at it, just looked really interesting.
Thanks for sharing that one. Waiting for an in-depth article and explanation from you.
Yeah, I've got to run it up.
See it in
Yeah,
action.
yeah. It was so funny on one of the other networks. Since we're going to version 5, I'm actually rebuilding some of the actual boxes themselves and replacing them, old hardware with new hardware. I found a Telos node that had been running for 3 years, still with Petronius on it. 3 years uptime, man, with Petronius actually fielding. It was an API, yeah, running.
And what was the
1804?
Node BIOS version?
It was
2 point.
Yeah, it was 2 something, I think.
2 something, right?
But it was there, and it was still
Unstable.
working. Yeah, it
Yeah.
hadn't
For
been
3
turned
years.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years. Yeah.
Did it have ECC RAM?
Actually, it did. We mainly ECC just because I need lots of RAM. That's the main reason.
Yeah.
Is DDR5 considered ECC, or is it like half ECC?
Half.
Better than nothing.
All right. Any other topic we want to pick up? Anything else you discovered? I should pull up on the screen.
I had something before, but I forgot it, so nothing for me.
All right. So, a closing statement then from my side. We are currently unraveling the mysteries of marketing and business development as a community of guilds and developers. So we are planning to have some of the WAX team representatives on the unofficial roundtables, which are in between the official roundtables, where we can share ideas back and forth, give some feedback on how we observe and see the things, and hopefully also brainstorm some useful ideas to help the growth of the network. We are currently planning to start that next week, Tuesday, same time slot as this one, if that accommodates the WAX team from the US, which is probably not the case. So it might be a little later, 18, 19 UTC or somewhat, which is 10 a.m. US. So let's be prepared for that. If it's going to happen next week, we're going to announce it tomorrow or the day after or Thursday or something. And let's get together and talk about marketing and business development together with the WAX team. I will only slightly moderate that call. It's an unofficial one. and it will be unrecorded too. So prepare your feedback or your ideas if that call is happening next week. If it's not happening next week, it will happen on the other slot, so 2 weeks after that. But there will be an announcement on the governance channel. Yes, Lisa.
Hi, thanks. I just wanted to mention we've heard what you said about the marketing, and several of us have been discussing what we've been doing and how we can support that. And we've identified some categories: comic enthusiasts, artists, musicians, publishers, and shops. And we're going to connect our imaginary view of the metaverse with these audiences and invite them to add a shop or a building using NFTs and invite them into the metaverse that way. And different efforts are going on, including one in a few weeks or 2 weeks now at South by Southwest in Austin. And we're going to be recruiting musicians and artists from there. And so that's exciting progress on that front. And looking forward to joining that call to discuss more. And as a quick side note, I wanted to mention we're also creating AI characters using Wax NFTs. So if anyone has a particular NFT that they would like to bring to life, we have a waiting list for the communities. We have quite a few on it already who want to bring their NFTs to life or play with one of the early ones that we're creating. And it's really fun, and it's been a great team learning experience, which is really, the exciting part that we're sharing. But I think it's going to give it a fun new utility for Wax NFTs and connect us to that bigger marketplace at this point. So just wanted to share those quick things with you. And again, thanks all for everything you're doing.
Thank you so much. I'd kindly request you to repost what you just said on the official WAXDAO Telegram on the developers or projects, probably project section.
Maybe in a couple weeks. You guys are
Okay.
getting a sneak preview.
Take your time.
But we are recording videos for the specific audiences, and we are sharing those. We just did some for the comic creators series, and we're going to do for each of the audiences, and we will share those for sure along the way. And then as the various opportunities are available, we will, and people will have resources to personally invite people they know, which has been great for getting new developers in. So we're going to provide resources and bounties for people to invite their friends as well, and then we'll be sure to share that.
Cool. Once we're talking community, and Joseph just reminded me of it, please be careful and take care of your community. It has been, in the past weeks especially, there have been many fake attempts. One of them is this. It's the waxblock explorer, just on a scam domain. So always make sure to double check links, to never connect your wallet with a fraudulent site, and also help others. Don't fall into lousy scams on Telegram. Especially the Russian-speaking community has had many incidents of scammers and fake wax airdrop sites and stuff like that. So we as a whole, as a community on Wax, can only do our best to prevent those scams from becoming popular. So let's make sure we protect our community. All right, that's it with the official agenda for today and the agenda bingo. In case we didn't discuss anything you forgot in the past minutes, let's gather those topics on the Wax governance channel, and I can pick them up and make them talking points. Thanks everyone for joining today's call. I hope you have a great week. and talk to you soon. Looking forward
You
to
too.
our next meeting.
Good night,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.